Welcome to Haunted America. On this week's episode, we stay out on the West Coast.
Today we dive into one of the most mysterious houses in all of America.
This house is one of the most talked about in California. Located in San Jose, we are talking about
The Winchester Mystery House.
On September 30th of 1862, Sarah Lockwood would marry in New Haven, Connecticut, to one William Wirt Winchester, the son of Oliver Winchester, who just happened to be the owner of the Winchester Repeating Arms Company.
Things were going great for this young couple until tragedy struck. Sarah and William, just a few short years after marriage, had their first and only child, Annie Pardee Winchester, born June 15th, 1866. Sadly, Annie would die of a childhood illness just about a month later, on July 25th, 1866.
Dad on top of this heartbreaking tragedy. Another death would soon occur. William would pass away due to issues caused by tuberculosis on March 7th of 1881. He was only 43 years old.
Shortly after her husband's death, Sarah left their home in New Haven, Connecticut, and moved out west to San Jose, California. There, she bought an 8-room farmhouse and began what could only be described as the world's longest home renovation, stopping only when Sarah would pass away on September 5th of 1922.
It's well rumored that after the death of her husband, she was contacted by a psychic in Boston who told her that the spirits that were killed by the guns that her husband helped create were the cause for husband's and child's deaths. And these were the same spirits that supposedly gave her the guidance to building this now well-known mystery house. Construction was non-stop after Sarah moved in. From 1884 to 1922, the original 8-room farmhouse quickly became one of the most unusual mansions in America. Throughout the non-stop renovations, this building amassed a total of 24,000 total square feet, 10,000 windows, 2,000 doors, 160 rooms, 52 skylights, 47 stairways and fireplaces, 17 chimneys, 13 bathrooms, and 6 kitchens. After all was said and done, the total building cost was just over $5 million in 1923. Today, that amounts to over $71 million.
What remains today is still a mystery, hence the name Winchester Mystery House. People have wondered for years what drove Sarah to build onto this farmhouse like she did. It's rumored she did this to confuse the spirits around her. But the question is, why? Was she instructed to build this home by that psychic? Was she indeed haunted by the ghosts of those fallen by the gun that won the West?
Many today still ask this same question. What drove a well-off woman from New Haven, Connecticut, to move to a farmhouse in San Jose and cut herself off from the rest of the world, while simultaneously building one of the weirdest yet most beautiful mansions in America?
The Winchester Mystery House is one of the top destinations inside and out of the paranormal community. People come from all around to see the mystery of the Winchester House. This location has gotten a lot of attention, from being investigated by Travel Channel's Ghost Adventures to being listed in many top 10 lists, such as Top 10 Haunted Places by Times Magazine and a Top 10 Haunted Destination by USA Today.
Now, you've heard about the lucky number 13, and how sometimes it really isn't lucky for some, like how Friday the 13th is usually perceived as a bad day. Well, according to lore, architectural features such as 13 bedrooms, 13 bathrooms, and 13 windows in certain rooms are due to Winchester's apparent fascination with the number 13. However, according to carpenter James Perkins, these were built on after Miss Winchester's death, but it's just kind of a good story, you know, too good not to share with you guys. It just adds on to the mystique of the house.
As noted earlier, Travel Channel's own Ghost Adventures visited this house in Season 5, Episode 8. In this investigation, they got some very compelling evidence. The best probably being their attempt at what they called a long-distance summoning. We're going to play 2 clips of this experiment the Travel Channel has up on their website, and the links will be down below to check them out yourselves.
All right, right now the time has come to conduct a one-of-a-kind, first ever attempted experiment from what I have ever seen. And right now, live, we have Mark and Debbie Constantino at the Washoe Club. The spirits there, they know us, right guys?
Absolutely.
Oh, they know you guys.
And we have our friends with TSP are at Aaron's favorite location, at Bobby Mackey's Music Club.
We're in here.
And here's us right here at the Winchester Mystery House. What I would like to say right now, this is the first time that we are going to try and communicate with spirits with a long-distance phone call. While this is going on, we've got Joshua Warren over here with a bunch of equipment. Joshua, what is this again?
This is a VLF, very low frequency radio receiver, and it's hooked up to a large coil antenna. And in fact, as you can hear, we're able to scan through frequencies and pick up any interference in this room.
This is
Picking up some kind of strange interference.
Dropping again. Hold still. 65.
65. So right now we've documented a 7-degree temperature drop.
While we begin picking up on this unexplained energy over at Bobby Mackey's, something makes its presence known.
Right now we've documented a 7-degree temperature drop.
So with our objective completed, we decide to end the experiment. At this time, we all begin breaking down at each of our 3 locations, but something continues to have a disturbing effect on Melissa, one of Chris's investigators. On Saturday, August 20th, 2011, 10 days after this experiment, Melissa consulted exorcist Bishop James Long after repeated nightmares, acts of aggression, and severe moods of anger towards her boyfriend, Chris.
What she was describing to me was a classic case of oppression, which caused her ultimately to lash out.
She was told very clearly by us that participating in our experiment could make things worse. She and everyone else there this night mutually agreed to continue on and face these demonic entities. Melissa and her boyfriend Chris, who is also having possible symptoms of a demonic attachment, are now both making the trip to Louisville to be cleansed at Bishop James Long's church.
All right, so basically what happened there in that clip, and like Jess said, the links to these clips are down below, and we really encourage you guys to check out the full episode, but these are just a few clips. Basically, there were people at 3 different locations, and they tried getting the spirits in all of those different locations to travel to the other locations to try to gather more evidence there.
And now I want a VLF.
It's very annoying. But we have another clip here that was kind of like an aftermath of what one of the guys from the Ghost Adventures crew was feeling after that experiment ended. So here we go on that.
We've set up our base of operations inside the Winchester Mystery House, and we're connecting across the country with Bobby Mackey's in Kentucky and the Washoe Club in Virginia City, Nevada.
Both very well-known haunted locations.
Right now, Aaron abruptly leaves the area, and we are unaware of the extent of what is happening to him.
Are you in this room? Like, I can sense you in this room big time.
Here we go.
Guys, quiet. Aaron.
Aaron, what? You all right?
Dude, I don't know, man. Something drew me in that room, and like, I swear to God, this chill hit me.
Go in there by
It's
yourself.
like I want to be alone.
Go.
What happened at Mac?
Just let him go off by himself. I don't know what's going on with him.
All right, call up the spirits.
Call them.
Come to us.
Call them, Mark and Debbie.
All right, spirits, you got me all by myself alone.
At this time, Chris alerts us that his team just captured an EVP and it could help explain what's happening to Aaron.
I got something about Aaron.
You did? Aaron, Chris got something regarding you at Mackey's on his recorder, Aaron.
Okay, it was right after Aaron got sick, and I said, did somebody just go after Aaron?
Did someone here just go after Aaron?
It now becomes apparent to us that something within Aaron is changing.
All right, Mackey's, spirit of Mackey's, whatever's there, you evil piece of why don't you come over and show your evil piece of face right over here and talk to us? We can feel something. Is that you or is that something from Washoe?
What's wrong with you? Stop! Look at it, Aaron. Bro, Aaron was just looking at me and he was not himself, bro.
Out of the corner of my eye, I saw you standing there and I saw a man standing right next to you. And I just looked up and then something hit me, dude. And
then when Aaron looked at me, dude, you weren't yourself.
Right after I notice this disturbing change in Aaron, Chris captures a hostile EVP that appears to be directed towards him.
Bro, Aaron was just looking at me and Hey, just stop just hold on, guys, all right? When you looked at me, I saw something very, very scary in your face. You were not you.
I feel like
doing this experiment, I knew it was risky, and right now we have enough evidence to support that something's going on.
I heard you're an asshole.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
And now they just kind of play like suggestive what they think it says, but everybody can hear, different things within EVPs. But like I said earlier, 10 out of 10 really would not recommend this, but I would probably do it anyways.
Definitely.
Just because it's a high risk, could be high reward type thing in the paranormal field. Having 3 well-known haunted locations, kind of all connecting together in sort of like a highway for the spirits to travel from location to location to location. The only thing is the spirits that are known at those 3 locations, the Washoe Club, Bobby Mackey's, and the Winchester House, I guess they're not really known as being really nice spirits. So, like I said, like a high risk, high reward type thing. You can get some really good evidence, but at the same time, like with Aaron or something like that, or even with some of the EVPs they heard, you're provoking those spirits to come over and do stuff. So,
and when someone gets taken over like that, or affected, however you want to put it, it's really a scary experience while it's happening, and it can have effects after the investigation that can go home with you. That's why we say 10 out of 10 would not recommend, because it can affect your home life.
But we'd still do it anyways. It's
would.
all for the it's all for the proof that we can get, all for the evidence that we can get.
Love of the paranormal.
Visitors and tour guides claim to have experienced cold spots, footsteps, cooking smells, odd sounds, whispering, doors and windows slamming, and the feeling of being watched, which literally could be said for all haunted locations. These types of interactions with spirits are the most common. It's claimed that over 1,000 spirits reside in the home. All these spirits, are these spirits the ones that she conjured into the house to give sort of a final resting place? We may never know, but that's what makes this house a mystery. But like I said earlier, these types of hauntings or evidence or whatever that you can get, they're just the basic of most basics. There's not really anything that I at least researched on, that has happened big here, evidence-wise. Like I said, what we just showed you guys from the Ghost Adventures crew over on Travel Channel, that's probably like the coolest thing that really has happened there. So
it's always unpredictable. You never know what you're going to get.
Exactly.
So what we talk about here on the show can't even come close to experiencing the real thing. So we encourage all of you to head over to WinchesterMysteryHouse.com to learn more and read for yourself about some of the things we talked about today. If you're interested in checking out this location, they do offer day tours starting at around $40.
All these mysteries and more are what have drawn over 12 million guests to visit the Winchester Mystery House since the doors opened in June of 1923. It's definitely safe to say that the Winchester Mystery House indeed is on the top list of
Haunted America.